Good morning. I'm Sandy O'Connor, and this is Artist Showcase. We're very happy today to be doing something very special with an unbelievably wonderful person named Jeannie Sanner. She would not like it that I'm talking about her this much because she's always focusing on the students and the people that she helps to grow in the theater. That's her magic. She always tries to make you better than you were the day before. And I've personally experienced this just in knowing her and also in being in shows with her. She's an unusual director in the sense of the way she does it, but I'm going to let her tell you more about that when we talk to her personally. She's touched my life very much, and I'm grateful to know her. Not only me, but almost everyone that's come in contact with Jeannie has, sort of a feeling of awe, like I'm really happy I got to work with her. So she's a taskmaster, but in the best sense of the word. She doesn't do it for her own self-gratification. She does it to make you look better and for you to grow. And I think that's something that anyone that works with her can see. And they think, wow, this is really something. And I know already from the class, we're going to be talking about the class that she has done called Character Development and what she's going to be doing with it at our Theater Guild meeting on June 20th. And what she's going to do is focus on her students, as she always does. So we wanted to just talk a little bit about her before we start. And then we're going to let you learn more about her by asking her questions about her background, which is extensive and very professional. So we hope you enjoy this. We hope you feel inspired. We hope that you will possibly join in and come to more of the classes at the Village Academy, because the people who have come have said, wow, am I ever glad I did this. Now we're going to go into the theater where Jeannie has her cast assembled for rehearsal for the Theater Guild meeting on June 20th. And what this is going to mean to our people in the club is that she's going to be they will actually present themselves in their characters from a play called Almost Maine. But there's more to it than that, because what will happen is that after they present themselves and their character development that they have received through her class of character development, then there will be a Q&A session, and it will be a really beautiful night for everyone to learn. And that's always what Jeannie's interested in. She wants them to learn. And so I'm excited, and I know they're looking forward to doing it. And she made sure they had full rehearsal as if they were doing a play among hundreds of people, and this is going to be probably about a couple hundred people. So that's the way Jeannie operates. And I personally have experienced the thrill of being in her show when we did Mystery, and learned so much that I've told her that. I've said, you taught me so much about the value of blocking and the value of really getting into the characters. So fortunately for us, she runs the Village Academy once or twice a year with all kinds of classes for everyone who's interested in any phase of the theater here. And it's a real treasure that we have her doing this. I'm happy to introduce Jeannie Sanner, who's going to talk about herself and also the Village Academy. So go for it, Jeannie.
Okay. What would you like to know?
Well, first of all, I think it's good for people who haven't known you for a while, your background in the theater, because it's extensive.
Okay, yes. I started acting at the age of 16 and started directing in my mid-20s. I started with musicals and had the opportunity to have the lead in My Fair Lady and Once Upon a Mattress and so many more. I also was an orchestra conductor for Oklahoma and other musicals and that sort of thing. And so I did a lot of shows in Virginia, Maryland area, Washington, D.C. area, and then moved out to California in 1979. And did directing and shows in this area, did Mousetrap for Westminster Community Theater, and anyway, that's enough about me.
But how about you had an acting school?
Oh yes, I had the Class Acting Academy in Orange in the 1990s, and that was very successful, and I got a chance to work with a lot of wonderful actors at that time. And then I started the Village Theater and Film Arts Academy here probably 4 years ago now. Yeah, it's probably been about 4 years, and I have 17 instructors who volunteer their time and teach every aspect of theater. We go from costumes and makeup to acting to stage managing, you name it, any aspect of theater we have classes for. Generally, the classes now are in the spring, and so keep an eye out for what we're going to be doing next year.
Right. And what has excited you about doing the Village Academy? Because it is a real project to pull this off and get all the instructors to do it. And again, it's this volunteer thing that everybody used to get paid.
Yeah.
And they don't get paid anymore. But what kind of feelings do you have about it?
Well, it's very exciting and it's awesome. And the instructors are professionals. They've come from Hollywood. They've come from Broadway. They've we just have some really talented instructors. What's exciting is I've been a teacher all my life, and I love seeing the changes in people, going from fear to love, going from not knowing how to walk on the stage to mastering the stage. And it's just wonderful to see some people had wanted to do it all of their lives and never had the opportunity to, and so this gives them the opportunity, and it's absolutely fabulous to watch. It's fabulous to watch.
So now what are we going to try to accomplish today, which I shouldn't even say try. We are going to accomplish today.
We're going to work on. Okay. So this class is called Character Discovery, and the intention of the class is to help everyone know how to get inside the head of the character that they're presenting, because the truth of the character, which is what we're always trying to achieve as actors, is the truth. And the way to know the truth of the character is to know what their perceptions and their beliefs are. So how do we get to know the perceptions and the beliefs of the character? How do we find out about the character? Now, what happened was, in the middle of this class, we were asked, would we like to present what's going on? Now, of course, the folks that signed up for the class were not expecting to have to memorize lines or do anything like that or be on stage or make a presentation. This was all going to be practice here. But they went for it. I love them for going for it. And today we're going to be rehearsing some of the scenes that we're going to be presenting for the June 20th Theater Guild meeting.
And the best part for us as a group of members of Theater Guild is that we're trying to create more teachable moments in our meetings. And this can be a huge teachable moment to all of the people who come. And in all honesty, with your name behind it, I know we're going to have a big crowd. And
Thank you.
And I just think it'll be wonderful. And you're planning to do a Q&A too, right?
Yes. There are two parts. We want to present it, and then I'd like the actors to share some of the things that they learned in the class that helped them develop the character to the point that they have. Now, remember, we've had limited time with this, so and there's some folks that have never done any of this before. So let's have the expectations be appropriate, but I want them to talk about that, and then we'll give the audience a chance to ask questions of either the actors or myself or whomever they want to speak with.
And we're also hoping that as a result of that, it will lead to more students signing up for your Village Academy.
Yes.
And that's part of the goal, because all of us many of us have been through your classes, so we know why it's important.
Well, good. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, and it's fun. I really I love the whole thing.
And one other thing, Jeannie's going to be directing our fall play, Night Watch, which will be September 27th to the 29th. We're real excited about it, and it's a wonderful mystery.
Yes.
Written by the same author who wrote
Sorry, Wrong Number and The Hitchhiker.
Right.
Both of which were quite popular.
And successful. Right.
So.
And anyone that tells the ending, we'll just have to get rid of them.
Yeah.
Because the ending is so unbelievable, and you can't figure it out.
No.
The few people who've been able to read it, because we had to read it as a board to approve it, said that they just were...
There was no way.
They just had no idea.
Now, but I would like to invite people to come back and see it the second time, because once you see it and know the ending, and you come back back and see it the second time, you see all the clues that you missed in the process. So it's really it's quite good.
And
I think.
auditions will be towards the end of June, which we'll be advertising, and then there'll be some additional auditions in the first part of August?
Yes, what I've done is the 4 leads have an extensive line load. So I'm just going to audition for those parts, get them all settled, get them through Act 1, Scene 1, and Scene 2, and then I'll add the other characters to that. I've never done this before, but I'm really happy about this process because then people are not sitting around waiting for their few lines to come on, etc. Plus I get to focus, strictly on the ones who have the heavy load. So we'll have a month of rehearsal with them, and then we'll add the others to it and weave it all together.
And the good news about that is there's 6 minor roles that will probably encourage people.
5 others. I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Correct.
5.
Yes, 5.
5. But I think it'll encourage people, and I've already talked to some people that are newer at this and say, yes, I'm going to audition.
Good.
I think that's a great way to get some of the newer folks involved, and as we've tried to teach everyone in the Theater Guild, audition always audition.
Yes.
Whether you even think you could possibly do this role, it's the practice of auditioning.
Right. Now, I will need to know who's practicing and who's for real.
Oh, they'll
because,
tell you.
I need to know if they're going to be able to handle the load, and I want to get those people cast first. But I put in an announcement that I gave you,
right, which I'm going to be
is that
sending
if
out.
anybody wants to practice auditioning, then I would be glad to help them with that. And if they want my feedback, I'll be glad to give them that, so that they can build their confidence in going through the audition process.
One other thing before we close and get on to the rest of this is the way Jeannie auditions is amazing, because she doesn't sit at the table. She does to start, but then as she auditions people, she gets up and helps them to do it again and do it better, and that is very, very helpful.
Yeah, I do that in a way selfishly as well, besides the fact that I'm a teacher and I look at every opportunity to help somebody grow. But the important thing is that a lot of times you can't get the truth of someone's ability without getting the fear out of the picture. And so when I start saying, well, why don't you sit down on this line, and then they start focusing on what they're to do, and they're not focusing on themselves, and they give me their best reading. So it's a selfish thing on my part, because I want the best cast always. That's the most important job of the director, I think, is getting the right cast, and then we go from there.
Wonderful. I'm excited.
Me too.
We're getting all set up now, and Jeannie's going to get the actors ready to rehearse the performance. And the thing that I want to have you think about is what she talked about. You'll notice the way that she interacts with her actors and how her goal is always to make them look good. So she's going to be rehearsing them. I wouldn't be surprised if she interrupts somewhat at this point to make sure that they're just getting it the way she hopes they will get it. And so I think it's going to be interesting, because she's doing a major rehearsal for a meeting, which a lot of people wouldn't do, but she never wants it to be something that's just, okay, we'll go over there and we'll show them what we did in class. She wants it to be a stimulating experience, both for her actors and for the audience that's going to see it.
Okay, lights. Okay, do the entrance again. Sorry, I'm already picking.
This is Jeannie's way of really trying to help someone just make it so much better, because although Barbara is an experienced actress, she just didn't quite like the way it started. So she's going to be instructing her. And when you work with Jeannie, you learn how valuable that is.
Okay, lights. Hello? Oh, hello. I thought I saw someone. I was about to go to bed. I saw you from the window. Is there something I can do for you?
No. I'm just here to see the Northern Lights.
Why are details
This is
important?
how rehearsals go.
I think it just makes everything work better in the end. I mean, sometimes when you're in the process, you think, oh, why do we have to keep changing this or doing it differently? But in the end, you know that that's what makes it good, and that, you don't want to accept mediocre. You want to make sure that it's something really fine and something that people will really look forward to seeing and enthusiastically applaud it.
All right. And don't be afraid to turn all the way around. You can turn your back to the audience. Yep. There you go. There you go. I love it. Okay, perfect. Okay.
By the way, the water coming out is your cue.
Oh, okay.
She's doing the scene without her partner, who is not here today, so Jeannie's filling in for him. But they have rehearsed a lot on their own, and so Jeannie already knows that they're going to be fine.
Hello?
Oh, hello.
I thought I saw someone. I was about to go to bed. I saw you from my window. Can I help? Is there something I can do for you?
Oh, no. I'm just here to see the Northern Lights.
Okay. It's awful late, and you're in my yard.
Oh, well, I hope you don't mind. I'll just be here for tonight. I'll see them tonight, the Northern Lights, and then I'll be gone.
Is that a tent?
Well, yes.
You've pitched a tent?
So I have a place to sleep.
In my yard.
After I see them. I hope you don't mind.
Well, it's not that
Well, do you mind?
Well, I don't
No, I
think...
think you mind.
Oh, but not...
No, you do. You do mind. I'm so sorry. I didn't think you would, because you see, it says here in your brochure.
My brochure?
Well, yes. It says that people from Maine wouldn't mind. It says that people from Maine are different, and that they live life the way it should be, and that in the tradition of their brethren in the rural northern cities and northern climes like Scandinavia, that they'll let people who are complete strangers, like cross-country skiers and bikers and hikers, just camp out in their yard if they need to, for nothing. They'll just let you. I'm a hiker. Is it true?
Have Bear stand here the whole time instead of going around.
Oh,
okay, because I lose him when he goes around. All right, so remember that.
So
okay,
is it true?
Okay, well...
Because they'll let you stay just for nothing?
So what did we just learn now?
Okay, we just learned some more little things that change in a rehearsal, and her partner for this scene, his name is Bear, and he obviously was circling around her previously when she was talking about camping out, and Jeannie didn't like that because it was distracting. So she's changed it, and this is what we do. We change it as we go to make it better.
So the actors have to be very adaptable.
Right, and they have to be flexible, because in some productions I've been in, people will say, well, why do we keep changing things? Because they're newer at the game. And I found that in the last show that I was in, and then of course the changes made all the difference and made it better. So they figured that out. They finally figured it out. But for some actors it's so confusing because they're newer, and they want to just sort of set it and not have to worry about it.
Well...
Really needed to.
Well, if a person really needed to, sure, but...
Oh, I'm so glad. Thank you.
Oh, take this, okay. All right.
Oh my gosh, I need that.
Oh, okay.
Thank you.
Okay, here, okay, thank you. Sure. Okay, so you're just looking for a place to see the Northern Lights from?
Yeah, just for tonight.
Well, you might not see them, because if you might not see them because you never really know.
No, I'll see them because, I'll see them. Because I'm in a good place, and the Northern Lights. Did you know this? The Northern Lights are really the torches that the recently departed carry with them so they can make their way to heaven. You see, it takes 3 days to make the trip home to heaven, and today is Friday. It's the 3rd day, so I will see them, the Northern Lights, because they're him.
Yeah, I'm with Barb Torino and Jeannie, and I want Barb to talk to you about the process she's gone through in this class with Jeannie and the other actors, primarily because Barbara has done a lot of acting, and she's done it in a lot of theaters around Orange County, so she has a more in-depth experience than some of these people. And so tell me how you felt about it.
Well, it's kind of interesting. As Sandy said, I've been acting for probably 30 years and never taken a class. But when I met Jeannie and she started to talk about her classes, I was intrigued. And I think this is the 3rd class that I've taken from her. And I've learned tons that's just helped me build upon the experience that I have and just become a better actor because of her. So thank you.
Well, you're welcome.
And I do
Thank
remember a wonderful part you did from the monologue class when we presented our
Yes.
monologue class.
Yes.
Remember that?
Yes.
What was the lady's name? Do you remember?
It was a monologue about living in McDonald's.
Living in McDonald's.
And actually, I've used that monologue several times.
And it's
since
precious.
then.
It's
Yes.
precious.
And you did a beautiful job with it.
So tell us a little about, because now you've worked with Barbara, what's been happening in this process?
Well, first of all, she has tremendous instincts. Okay, so you're a natural. Okay, what I call a natural, and I use that word very sparingly. But what was interesting was when you and Bear, your partner, first read this. I let you go through the whole thing, and then we sat down, and you had a completely different interpretation. You and Bear had a completely different interpretation of the scene than what I was looking for. I'm not a dictator, I'm an educator, so we sat down and I shared with you the symbol of the heart, and that it was a magnet, and that even though it may not be realistic that he falls in love with you instantaneously, it's the heart is a magnet. And so we talked about that, and the whole scene changed completely. The energy changed, the dynamics changed, the relationship changed, and acting is all about relationships, because that's what life is about.
Right.
And so the two of you have connected absolutely beautifully, and it's a wonderful, wonderful scene. I'm thrilled with it.
We can't wait to see it. We cannot wait to see it.
Well, okay, you're in. This is it.
This is it. This is the porch.
It's winterized. And so, Dave, what?
No,
What is it that
I
you gotta
got you
do
this
in
thing
here
here.
that you can't do
I
outside?
got you this thing, and
What's that?
well, hey, did we not have fun tonight, huh?
Oh,
man,
boy.
going 20 miles out.
Oh,
huh?
boy.
Beans
We
and
did-
Franks at the
Yeah.
Snowmobile Club, and then 20 miles back.
Yeah.
Beers
yeah.
at the Moose Patty. It doesn't get any better than that. Huh?
Awesome.
And as I remember, you were looking pretty good in that new sled of yours.
Well, it's a Polaris, man.
I don't know. Gee, but I'll tell you one thing. If I could ever remember the line, I will tell you.
Well, I whooped your butt.
What you sure did.
Well, that's what you
sure
get
did
for
whip my butt.
For driving an Arctic
did.
Cat,
I
man.
know.
You get your butt.
I know.
And I whooped it.
I know.
I whooped
I
your
know,
butt.
I know,
I whooped
I
your
know,
butt,
I
Mr. Arctic
know.
Cat man.
I'm not saying you didn't. Gee whiz.
Oh, that was fun.
All right. Well, here. I got you this.
Oh, what's that?
Here, take it. Open it.
Why did you get this?
Just open it, please. Just open it.
Together. Well, we've been together.
Oh, really? Okay, well, shoot.
Well, what's this?
Well, here, give me it.
Well, we've been together.
Yeah. Well, we've been together for a long time now.
Together? What are you talking about, together?
Okay.
That's just crazy.
All right, we've been friends for quite a few years now.
Are you getting all girl on me?
No, shh. Just here, open it.
What are you doing here,
Just
bud?
open it, please. Just open it. God, darn it.
What is it?
I mean, what is it? Can't you see what it
Well,
is?
it's a picture,
Yeah.
a painting.
Yeah.
Where'd you get it? It looks homemade.
What do you mean it looks
Well, you
homemade?
know, it looks like somebody actually painted it.
Somebody actually did paint it.
Did you paint it?
Yeah.
For me?
Uh-huh.
So can we
Why?
ask you a couple questions?
Yeah.
Sure.
Didn't want to interrupt because you
You've
got.
already have interrupted.
I know I have, but we want to ask you a couple questions because this is the process before you perform. First of all, I really was enjoying it because you both seemed real natural, and that's not always easy to accomplish. You know.
I don't know. There's something about it.
Yeah,
I
well,
think that we do feel natural.
Good, and it looks like it's the right kind of scene for you guys to do. You know, how do you feel about from when you started to rehearse it to where you are now?
Well, first of all, being off book is the most important thing.
Yeah.
I mean, we couldn't get into the blocking because we're looking at the script and then it's tough when you don't know the words. And what I think is, I just said to Charlie a moment ago, I said what I think is remarkable, that we're 2 weeks from performance and both of us pretty
was
much
a
about
couple of
know
sessions,
everything.
sure, yeah.
Yeah, but you know, you covered. It was almost like I didn't catch it at first that you were looking for a line, which is another good thing. Because the audience
They
doesn't
don't
always
know.
know that.
I
See,
know, they don't know.
And this must be fun for you, Charlie, because you haven't done something
I
for
have
a
never
while.
done anything like this. In
No.
fact, and don't let this out because this is a secret.
Okay.
Okay, this will be my first stage kiss. So this is a magic moment.
Wow.
I'm sure for Annie.
Oh my gosh.
Yes, I'm telling you.
I had mine
So,
in high school.
I'm planning on doing a lot more of those scenes, those kissing scenes.
So you're going to be looking for scripts that are presented
That's
at classes that will
absolutely
go-
right.
Yeah, I hope so. I hope so.
With as little clothing as possible.
Having gone through the class,
Yeah.
how do you feel about the character discovery part of this, which is the whole goal? Obviously, that's why they named the class that.
That's right.
But how did you feel about that and the direction you got and the encouragement you got during this process?
Well, she's different than any person I've ever worked for before because she's very intense as far as blocking and getting to know the character that you're playing, and I never had to do that before.
You could just be Charlie.
That's it. I know,
the
and that was
musicals.
never enough. Was it? Never quite cut it, did it? Anyways, she's very good at making you recognize that. Now, my character in this doesn't really have a lot of background that we know about. We don't know what he does for a living. We don't know any of those things. All we really know, and you find that out during the scene, is he really just adores her. That's what we know. And we know she's a little bit tough, and he's a little bit timid. So it's kind of tough for him to get over that hurdle.
But you've already discovered a lot of things just by what you're saying. Really?
That's right, and that's all.
Right.
It's all because she taught me how to do that, or told me.
Jeannie's giving
Okay.
a lot of instructions during the rehearsal because she honestly sees things that need to be improved. So see how they're talking back and forth between the actors and Jeannie. And
But
she
actually,
is
you became more stagnant.
communicating
You were
what
just
she
basically
wants.
standing there.
And
the other day, I was
can
getting
hear her.
this and physically getting this.
See, she
and,
liked better what they
yeah,
were doing the
yeah,
other day,
I
and
want
she's
that
trying to
energy, and I
remind
want-
them
I
that they
want
should go
you
back to doing
be
that.
Happy about what's going on. You gave me that energy, but you know that you have some things to resolve here, and that's the tearing part.
So be nicer, basically.
Yeah, I mean, you care about him as a person.
Okay.
You don't love him anymore, but you care about him. And he's not.
We might have a last minute fling. Come on.
Yeah, and he's not an impediment. He is.
Not gonna happen.
Yeah, he's not. He's not an impediment. He
This is what I love about the
an
process,
unresolved
because see how
issue that you're
detailed
having
she
a
gets.
chance to fix,
I mean,
but at the same
it's
time,
like this
the timing
person, this
sucks.
character
Okay,
is
so,
a
you know,
real,
but you
real
care about
person, and
as a
there's going to
person.
be no doubt about it if they do exactly what she wants and what they bring to it. So that's what's exciting about it. We have so much footage of this process that we're going to have to do 2 parts.
Oh, yeah, I'm fine.
So
Okay.
they're
I
still in
was just
rehearsal.
thinking-
We're finding out all kinds
got
of
no
interesting things which you've
I know,
already
but
heard.
yes, the other
But
day-
now
You
we
want
want
to
you
pay
to
more
know that
attention.
when this airs in July,
Well, you had
this
a lot
part
of
will be
energy.
the first
You
2
were
weeks,
upbeat
and you
because
want to
you
watch
have
the
this
second 2 weeks
torn. I'm not
because it's going to be all
getting
about
torn. I'm getting
performance.
down
We'll be filming
today.
at the performance,
Okay.
and you'll get to see the polished
let's
version
start from the
of
beginning.
of
And,
these efforts.